Yes, everybody, we are talking about the Mario Bros. So grab a fire flower, grab a Tanuki suit, and let's not drag it out. So without further ado, it's Jay, and I got something to say. So first of all, I'm a huge video game nerd. I was raised on the Mario Brothers. Been playing Mario since the Nintendo 64. So you know I had a lot of thoughts about this movie. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I wanted to hate it hearing that they were making a Mario movie. Seeing the trailers actually changed my mind because it seemed like they wanted to do it justice for the people who are actually nerds and who actually love Mario, who have grown up with Mario. So the Mario Bros are having a hard time. They're new plumbers. They're trying to get their business started. They're helping this one couple. The dog is fighting with them. The bathroom is breaking all apart. They're doing a horrible job. The dog is trying to attack them. The water's sprouting everywhere, and the dog ends up about to jump out the window by mistake. And it's a good start to the movie. It's a good comical start to the movie. So they fail horribly, and they go back to their family, and that was the first red flag for me. I was like, why do they have a family? And it just seemed like they were all so random. This giant, it wasn't just like a mom or a dad. It was a giant family. It just felt so weird to see Luigi and Mario with a family. So there's a giant leak in Brooklyn, and Mario's like, it's our time to shine. We're gonna save Brooklyn and prove to our father that becoming plumbers was not a bad idea. They go to try and stop the plumbing, but they do some investigating, and they get trapped in this weird pipe place, and Luigi ends up getting sucked in. Mario gets sucked in soon after, and that's when things start to really hit the fan. Luigi gets teleported to this Bowser-esque castle type place, and of course dry bones start attacking him like zombies, and I was actually genuinely terrified for Luigi. I thought he was actually going to die in the movie. Mario gets transported to the Mushroom Kingdom. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, I thought the Mushroom Kingdom was well done. It was so colorful, just like how I thought it would be growing up as a kid, thinking like if I hopped into the game. Like I thought that's what the Mushroom Kingdom would look like. It was so colorful. I loved all the different colors with the Toads. Toad is showing Mario around, and I loved Toad growing up as a kid. Toad was my favorite character right behind Yoshi, and I always played as Toad for Mario Kart. So I love Toad guiding Mario around. There's all these different pipes in the kingdom, which is really funny because it's not in the games, but it's also like, okay, I can get with this. So they get to the castle, and we see Princess Peach, and she's more active and not as fragile and delicate as she is in the game. She's got leggings on, if anyone else peeped that. But she sees Mario, and there's a moment where it's like, oh, is this love at first sight? Which isn't hinted at again throughout the movie. She's talking about how if Bowser gets to the kingdom, many people will be injured, the kingdom will fall into peril. And I'm looking at all the counselors around this, thing. And it's like, where's Toadstool? Y'all have these counselor toads, but I'm like, just add Toadstool. Why not add Toadstool? Or Grandpa Toadstool. Is that what he's called in the games? But the brown one. I'm like, you got all these colors. Why not add the brown mushroom guy? We cut back to Bowser's army, and they're partying, which is cool because we don't get to see a lot of their personality in the game. So it's like, oh, so this is what they're like when they're not chasing and trying to attack Mario. Like they're party people. I'm glad that they addressed the whole Bowser wanting to marry Peach situation because that's a plot point even in the games that's just like it never makes sense. So you're going to force this woman to marry you. Like it's never talked about, but it's like this weird thing. So I loved how they had Bowser's army looking at him like, are you insane? Like what? So Bowser threatens Luigi like, hey, is this plumber someone I have to worry about trying to take my woman? and he plucks his mustache and puts him in the dungeon. Luma stole the show. The baby blue star Luma stole the show because he's like real cute, but he keeps saying these weird dark things. And it was actually like he was actually the funniest one in the show to me. So Princess Peach is introducing Mario to the power-ups and how her world works. And y'all, it felt so rushed. It felt like, okay, he's learning and he's trying to figure out this world, but it didn't feel like we got to like watch him really succeed with it. They go to Donkey Kong's kingdom, the Kong Kingdom, and we see Cranky Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, all the Kongs, and we're introduced to race carts. One of the gorillas takes Peach, Toad, and Mario to Cranky Kong, and Peach is like, look, we need to work together or Bowser's gonna kill us all. And Cranky Kong is like, well, I'll listen to you if you can beat my son. Because Mario decided to jump up and say, hey, you need to listen to her. Cranky Kong laughs at him and is like, well, look, you fight my son, I'll do whatever you say. Y'all, I love Donkey Kong's intro because it was so nostalgic just to hear that DK, Donkey Kong, and everyone's going crazy for Donkey Kong. And I didn't really feel like Seth Rogen's voice, I felt like it took a quality that I have associated with Donkey Kong. I didn't think he did a terrible job. It just felt a little strange hearing Seth Rogen in Donkey Kong's body. They start fighting and Mario is getting beat, y'all. Like it actually gets like a little cringy at times because it's like, oh, this actually looks painful because they're on a metal platform and I'm like, Mario's not, like Mario's a human. Like this is horrible. After getting completely demolished, Mario finally gets a cat power up and just literally tears Donkey Kong up with the cat suit. And there's a moment where Mario scratches Donkey Kong and I'm like, okay, if this movie wasn't for kids, that would look a little bit crazier. Cranky Kong and Donkey Kong agree to help because Mario did beat Donkey Kong in a match, fair and square. And so they go down there like, well, if we're going to go see Bowser, we got to have carts. When I tell y'all, the cart scene was so nostalgic, just picking the carts. It just felt like a nostalgia buzz. So they're riding, and it didn't make any sense to me, but the whole army is riding, and the Rainbow Road just appears. And I'm like, that is awesome, but also, where did that come from? And y'all, there was like a back shot of Peach, and I was like, it's a kid's movie. Everybody calm down because it seemed a little suggestive. I don't know how y'all felt about it, but it looked a little suggestive to me. And I was like, we could have had this angle a different way. Let me know in the comments if y'all knew what I was talking about because it looked too suggestive to me for a kid show. Bowser's army throws an ambush and it was actually funny because we got to know the origin of a blue shell. And for the longest time, I have always wanted to know where the blue shell came from because there's not blue shell enemies in the game. So watching the head Army Koopa guy get defeated and then scream and then turn into a blue shell, I loved how he turned into a blue shell. Because everyone knows in Mario Kart, when you get hit with a blue shell, it is like the worst feeling. When you're being chased by that blue shell, y'all. So Donkey Kong and Mario fall into the water and Mario saves Donkey Kong, but there's a moment where I was like, what is that underwater creature? Like, that is not Nessie, y'all. That is not Nessie. It looks like a scary, horrifying creature. So Princess Peach races back home to evacuate her kingdom, and Bowser gets there and he's like, marry me, right? And he has the Power Star right behind him. And I'm like, Peach, why don't you just do one of your flips that you've been doing the whole movie? Why don't you do your action princess thing and just get the power? Like, I I just feel like she could have slid under Bowser or did a flip over him. Like, it was right there. She's got a web. Like, I just feel like she could have done something to get that Power Star. After torturing Toad, Princess Peach decides she's going to marry Bowser to save her kingdom. Cut back to Mario and Donkey Kong, and they're both talking about how their parents both think that they're mess ups. And there's this funny moment where Mario's like, well, yeah, my dad thinks I'm a mess up too. And Donkey Kong's like, yeah, he's a smart guy. And it's like this whole like banter between Donkey Kong and Mario. And I thought it was cool because that is their origin. They started off as enemies. They became friends as the video games went on. But nah, like they started off as enemies. Also, I thought the bloopers was so freaking cute, y'all. Like, seeing them underwater. That's like my favorite Mario enemy, the blooper. We fast forward to the wedding, and Peach is in her dress. She's got the flowers. She's about to marry Bowser. And y'all, I thought this second half of the movie was the best part of the movie. To see all of the enemies at Bowser's wedding, King Bomb, like King Boo, all those different enemies, it just felt so good looking at them and seeing them. Princess Peach pulls an ice flower out of her bouquet, and you know, the first thought I had was, okay, this is definitely a Deus Ex Machina. Like, where did that come from? How is she single-handedly destroying all these bosses? Like, I mean, I get it. So, I was happy to see her like kicking butt. She finds a way to set King Bomb on fire, and that was the funniest scene of the movie. Watching King Bomb realize that he is about to explode was so funny. So before Peach went all ice flowery, Bowser was about to sacrifice all of her friends. Luma, there was a moment where it was like, okay, Luma, you were hilarious, but now I just need you to chill out for a second. Like, you're saying some wild stuff now. Like, it started to get annoying. Like, we get it. You wanna die. Okay, we get it. Then there's this amazing scene of Donkey Kong and Mario just like going to power up town. I actually think it was the best scene in the whole movie of them just like demolishing enemy after enemy after enemy. They just were in the pocket, right? But then there's this moment where Bowser's about to just blow up the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario gets the Tanuki suit and rescues Luigi. They finally have this reunion, which was really cool. But then Bowser, in his anger, decides to blow up the Mushroom Kingdom and sends a giant bullet bill down towards the Mushroom King. And so Mario uses the Tanuki suit to fly towards Bullet Bill. And I started to get a little upset because I was like, that is not how that suit works. That's not... Like, I would have appreciated if, for my Nintendo 64 fans, the flying hat Mario, do y'all remember that power up? Only the real ones remember that power up where you could put on the flying hat. I just feel like we could have used a different power up or a different way. It just felt really Deus Ex Machina. Cut. So he can't stop Bullet Bill, but then he hits him in the eye with his Tanuki suit. And I'm like, okay, again, that's not how that works, but it's a cartoon. It's a kid's movie. I'm a rock with that. Mario leads Bullet Bill to a warp pipe, and Bullet Bill gets sucked up in the pipe and explodes. And this is where it gets a little confusing because I guess what happened, and I'm just realizing it, is that the pipe blew up, and then a lot more things were able to get sucked up. So then the Mushroom Kingdom and whatever kingdoms were surrounding it, I guess, got sucked into Brooklyn, which was so confusing. Bowser is beating on Mario, and Mario sees the commercial that he and Luigi made, and he gets inspired to like get up and try to fight. So he gets up and he's not done, and Bowser blows this fire, and it's stopped by Luigi. And I thought that was cool. Like, okay, Luigi's having some growth too, and he's like stopping the flame. But I also was like, is this not burning you? Like, do you not feel the flame? Then I thought Mario was gonna get the power up by himself. But Luigi and Mario get the power up. And y'all, instead of like applauding in the theater, I rolled my eyes. I rolled my eyes because it felt so corny and cheesy. And it just felt so rushed. So they're beating up all the enemies, and finally, like they are wrecking house. Like that power up is no joke. And they get to Bowser and they pull his tail and throw him. For the Nintendo 64 fans, y'all know when y'all got to throw Bowser like that, it was so much fun. They make Bowser eat a small mushroom, and he's small and he's put in a jar. And then Mario's mom and dad run out. Like, we're so proud of you. We always knew that you would save Brooklyn. And I was so mad, y'all. I was like, Mom and Dad, go away. Y'all do not exist. If I could cut anything from the movie, it would be Mom and Dad. Because it's like, it's because it makes it become this thing about Mario wanting his mom and dad's approval. Which is like, it just, it's just forced. But I get it. I guess the kids need something to relate to, right? So why not give Mario and Luigi a mom and dad in the family? In conclusion, y'all, the movie felt really, really rushed. It felt like a giant Mario ad with a bunch of nostalgia bombs to compensate. Like, hey, y'all, come play our games. Hey, kids, come play these games. You can play all these games. We got all the games in here. I did love the nostalgia. I think that's more than they do with a lot of video game movies. Like, they tried to get the original fans, but it felt like the nostalgia bombing was so forced. It felt like it wasn't earned. So when I would see something that I loved looking at when I was a kid, it just didn't feel earned. Yeah, I'm a little mixed on the movie because it feels as though, on one hand, it's like, look, the movie's for kids, right? And cut. I'm mixed on it because I feel as though, on one hand, yes, this movie is for kids. It's not for the adults who grew up with it. But on the other hand, it does feel like nostalgia bait and a money grab. And it's like, if you're going to ride on the coattails of this franchise, why not honor the people who helped to make it grow? Because let's be real, like, Mario fans are the people who helped this franchise become what it is. It's for the kids, but it's also like, we could do a little bit more justice with this movie. We could have finally revealed Mario and Luigi's canon origins, right? Which theories are still being made about today. Like, where did Mario and Luigi come from? Where did Princess Peach come from? We could have given the OG fans just a little more and took some more time with these characters. And let's be real, this movie is going to do amazing, right? At the box office, people are going to go and watch this movie. But it's an issue because are we as a society just saying, yeah, take anything, just throw some nostalgia at us and you'll have a successful movie? I want to hold Hollywood more accountable. Like, if you're going to take a name like the Mario Brothers, you can't just throw anything up. You can't just throw a rushed movie up like that. Thank you for staying this far. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the Mario Bros. Movie. Did you love it? Did you like Bowser? Did you like Peach? Did you like Toad? Funniest character to you? Let me know. All right, y'all. Jay signing out. Tune in next time.